Sandra, Jeff. Present. Joe Manini.
Thank you. Board members, we have the agenda before us. We have on number 2, approval of agenda.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve by Mr. Mitchell.
Ms. Jeff.
Yes.
Mr. Heineman.
Yes.
Ms. Manuelito.
Yes. Thank you. Number 3, we have approval of consent agenda items. We have 3A, 3B, 3C, and 3D.
We added that's why it's actually go back to the approval agenda and 3E to consent agenda. It was just
Okay.
Okay, I will make a motion to for approval of agenda, adding 3E, Teresa Fraser.
I think we need to motion to amend the approval of the first agenda. So we would need to make a motion to amend approval of agenda with adding
And Superintendent Chiafetti, there are 2 ways. I have an addition, and there are 2 ways I'm thinking this could be done. I'll state what the addition is, or I could incorporate it into the motion approving the consent. But I'd like to add in this situation board's approval of any further travel, additional travel to NIA by any additional staff members if and where budget funds are available, and if approved and recommended by the superintendent. We're in a time frame here, a short time for planning and review, but to keep it open-ended with board approval if there were additional people who were able to go. And we could add that as an additional item. I think it's in line with what we're doing, or I could put it into the motion of approval of the consent items. The superintendent recommendations there. And not that anybody else could or would go, but keep it possible that it turns out to be possible.
Mr. Petty.
Madam President and Mr. Hammond, in response to your I would actually like to hold off on that till Monday. We can add it to the agenda on Monday. There is a special session that was called for tomorrow at the legislature, and it's going to affect us unknown. There's 5, from what I understand, 5 different proposals, and I'm sure there'll be substitute bills put on the floor, probably the Senate and the House both. We've been looking at the scenarios, and it's going to affect us anywhere from no effect, which is very doubtful, up to $16 million. They'll probably be voting on that tomorrow, or more than likely, I would guess, Saturday, and we'll have a better idea of what we can afford on Monday.
Okay, I think I understand. If I may respond, Madam President?
Yes.
I think I understand you're saying there may be cuts that we need to look closely at what we have for funds. I'm thinking there are also some federal budgets for some people that may or not to play that wouldn't be affected by the legislature. I can accept that.
Are you still there?
Okay, I'm still here.
Oh, okay. Okay, so can you state that again, Mr. Kitteman, that you right now you're just gonna wait and, did you say wait until Monday?
Well, let me propose something one step further for superintendent's response. In my thoughts, if I put this into the motion to signal approval in advance so people can start looking at possibilities of the short time frame, I did say, our budget funds are available, and as approved and recommended by the superintendent, so that opens the door, but it doesn't guarantee it unless it's appropriate as possible. Then that review can be handled by the superintendent. If it looks possible for somebody else to go, then it's possible. If it's not, it's not. Make any sense? Today?
Okay, so, Mr. Kinnaman, Madam President.
Yes.
The way I'm understanding it is to make the motion to allow anybody else who wants to attend this the NEIA in Reno at this time with the superintendent's approval, if funding is available, what you would base it on? Would we have, I don't know.
We add to the open meeting
No.
act.
No, I think,
Have to go on Monday.
Okay. Okay, okay, so with that, Mr. Hideman, I think we'll be able to do that on Monday, and so I'm thinking that if anybody is interested, I guess Mr. Trippetti would know by then, and we would have them on the agenda for Monday's meeting, because if we add it at this point, we will be breaking the Open Meetings Act by adding to the agenda.
Well, I'm fine with that in terms of being careful, and I understand that. I think we're in a gray zone because sometimes when we approve, say, even board travel, we don't know who's all going, so if we approve staff travel, we can do the same thing, but that's fine. I'm just trying to encourage the possibility. NIH is the biggest in education event of the year, and I wish we had more people going, and that's why I'm trying to explore how to make it as possible. I mean, if possible, where we can open that door. So, with that, if you want, I'll move Madam Chair to approve the consent items as presented.
yes, sir. I think, I understand what you're trying to do to add to the amended motion to leave it open under the discretion of the superintendent, and of course do the funding also. But I think we can also honor and wait until Monday and add it to the agenda if we have to, if there's any other people that are interested. But I think at this time, we can move forward with the approval of the consent agenda that we have before us. With just to mention again, adding 3E to the amended motion,
Yes.
which is Mrs. Frazier.
I understand.
Okay,
Madam President,
yes.
just listening to Mr. Henneman requesting to make a motion to add some items or proposal with E added on to this. How did this come about? Even Superintendent with Ms. Teresa Frazier being added on to this, and then we have to motion to accept E and put that on the agenda.
Madam President, and Ms. Jeff, it was an error. It really wasn't an addition, it was an error. It was published as 3E, but on your approval of consent agendas above, it says 3A, 3B, 3C, 3D, and it didn't say 3E. So it was on there, it was just an error on our part, so it was advertised, and it was out. We just omitted the 3E. And if need be, and we wanted to wait till Monday on that one, that would be no problem either, because that one is no cost to the district. The state's paying
Madam President?
Yes.
I think with that, then I think we can add it by stating that we're adding, that E is put back on as it was originally on here, and we need to just, instead of saying to make a motion to add, because we're not adding it. It was already, it's an error from what we're hearing, and it was already on there, so the wording, I guess, should be that we are acknowledging the error, and that E, Teresa Frazier should have been on here, and it was fixed. So I guess we can change it to that rather than adding.
Thank you for that clarification. I agree with you, sir, on your recommendation. I just want to add that this NIEA, the National Indian Education Association conference, as Mr. Hideman did state, is a very important conference that we meet as Native Americans all across the nation on how we can better our improvement for our students. And just to, I kind of researched it and started looking into the strands due to the recommendation that Mr. Hideman gave us a link on. There's going to be workshop strands that will be for early childhood education, curriculum, instructional, and effective teaching, higher education, college and career readiness, public school and urban native education, culture and language, the STEM, which we have in our schools too, science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics, family and community engagement and empowerment, school environment, safety, student wellness, and social justice, just to name some of the workshop strands. And I agree with Mr. Hideman that we do need more of our staff and parents and community members to attend these workshops. I did speak before we were having issues about the purchase orders. I called one of the board members, and they connected me with the NIEA accountant that is taking care of the purchase orders, but we elaborated in our conversations a little more, and one of the things they want us to sit in on is the ESSA, the ESSA, and how they're trying to make it to where with tribal, to make it more sensitive, and how we can continue to help our children in that area. So I think it is worthwhile, and I wish we did have more individuals, but I think the hard part for me is going to be sitting down and seeing which ones to take, and I am more than welcome to bring back as much information and do a report on this NIEA when we return, and I'm thankful that we do have a parent that will be attending, and also Ms. Frazier. So hopefully with that, Ms. Frazier will bring back administrative kind of views, us as a board, and then as parents also. So I think this will be a wonderful conference that will take place in for our students.
Madam President?
Yes, Mr. Mitchell?
So everyone that's listed here are the only ones that are attending?
Yes.
That would have been nice I would think that if even one of our shepherds would have attended, and that would have given them some insight and to bring back to the rest of the shepherds. It sounds like this conference is, something that happens once a year and very important and very informative. And, I think that, next time around we should make sure that we have representation from different areas within our central office to attend these.
Madam President?
Yes, sir.
Don't mean to be repetitious here, but I do want to say that I have had the opportunity to attend NIEA a number of times in Phoenix, Albuquerque, Oklahoma City, Rapid City. I think I attended perhaps the very first NIEA conference years ago in Minneapolis. And it was a great event, not only for information, but getting perspective of what's going on in Indian education across the country in all kinds of dimensions. And I would just wish, I know time is short, but if anything opens up, I wish our superintendent, associate superintendent, our Indian education coordinator, and as many of our staff could get there. It's a huge event in terms of numbers of sessions and people from involved in Indian education in all the states, including Hawaii, Alaska. And so I just would encourage if there's any possibility still to look at that we provide that opportunity if it's feasible. Thank you.
Madam President,
Yes,
I wish that there was some kind of, how would I say it, like an agenda, whatever that you could have proposed to us, because I would have loved to see what was on the agenda, I know that you kind of highlighted some of the, the items or the sessions that will be taking place, but I would have loved to get a copy of, the agenda and whatnot. And then number two, we're talking about the operational costs. I'd like to also know how much is it going to cost the district for those that are going to be attending this this convention. And then the other one is with Ms. Frazier, maybe the superintendent can answer this question. Since it's no cost to the district through the state, can you kind of enlighten me what, how she falls under, like the no cost? I'm putting this out there because I'm really concerned about the budget within the with our state budget, because of a lot of cuts that are going to be taking place, and I know that that's going to be discussed tomorrow. And I've been hearing, that there's a huge concern even with all the school districts. So if you can make that, if you can answer those questions for me, I appreciate it.
Madam President,
yes.
Board Member, Ms. Jeff, I will have Monday for you the cost of each one. As for Ms. Frazier, she is currently the sitting chair for the Public Education Department Indian Education Advisory Committee. So she is the sitting chair for their advisory committee.
So that organization's picking up her costs.
I do believe so. Yes, they asked her to attend, and we would just have to give her the professional group to go.
Okay, I just, those were kind of my concerns that I had, and, I do agree with my colleagues about how important it is to attend this National Indian Education Association, and I know that we've been having a lot of issues regarding Indian education itself. It still hasn't surfaced to really the core issues that I'm really concerned about, and so I just really think that with this kind of conference, that I have to agree that I wish there was others, that would have attended this, so that they would kind of get a better understanding about the National Indian Education and what it's about. So, so that's really all I have to say.
There is a motion on the floor by Mr. Mitchell to accept the consent agenda items. Roll call, please.
Ms. Jeff?
Yes.
Mr. Heineman?
Yes.
Ms. Manuelito?
Yes. Thank you again, board members, and your registration for this. Moving on to 4, we have adjourn.
Motion to adjourn?
Motion made by Kevin Mitchell for adjournment. Roll call, please.
Ms. Jeff?
Yes.
Mr. Heineman?
Yes.
Ms. Manuelito?
Yes. Time 1:29. Thank you very much.